It's true that with this body we're not at ease. Sometimes some want to be a woman, others want to be a man, so it's like a choice. But in fact, we're the soul. We're above everything. And when we understand we're the soul, then we understand that the envelope is just temporary, and we just concern about what's eternal instead of searching for a temporary solution. Because if we're a man or a woman, we will still have anyways problems. Distress, problems, it's the same thing. So, the solution is not to change sex. The solution is to understand we are above the body and we are eternal. And when we understand this, then we can liberate ourselves from all conceptions that are giving suffering. We'll read a verse. So we'll read the next verse, which will make us understand the importance of being situated above happiness and distress. Because in the theistic conception of the soul, we understand naturally that when we incarnate in a body, and then when we act independently from our eternal reality, then these actions are making consequences. It's what we call the law of karma. Whatever you sow, you will earn it later. The Bible is speaking about this, something like this. So then automatically, it's very important to understand that the results of happiness and distress, this is coming from past actions. And that the action, if we give it to the absolute, because Krishna means the absolute truth, then this action is not bringing any more reactions, and this action is liberating ourselves from the result of our past actions, which are bringing desires in our heart, pushing us to act, and then we can gradually detach ourselves from the bodily conception of life. Like a coconut, when the inside it's ready, it's detaching from the covering. So then we can see the difference between the body and the soul. And this vision, it will completely change our life. Because when we see this inside of us, we see it in others also. And also, we see that life means the soul, the plants, the trees, the insects, animals, and then we have a total respect for all kinds of living beings and harmony. Without this harmony, we cannot go towards God. Of course, there's some kind of link, but which is not complete, because we cannot be separated from the whole. We cannot just take a part and harm another part. It cannot work. To understand the nature of the soul and the nature of the Supreme Soul, we need to have this respect to all living beings. It's very important. And in this conception, there is the idea also of respecting the choices of other living beings. This is very important, because we understand all living beings have a different path, and not everyone has the same consciousness. So we cannot force someone who doesn't have a spiritual consciousness to accept a spiritual path. It's the continuity of life. We obtain a consciousness by cultivating a consciousness. If you cultivate hatred, then you will receive hatred. If you cultivate love, then you receive love. By cultivating hatred, you cannot receive love. It's not possible. You understand? So, cultivating consciousness, it's something which is accumulating life after life. For example, in the conception of reincarnation, people say, but what's the use of reincarnation? It's useless, stupid. But imagine, if we're eternal with this body, and we're just accumulating all these negative moments. Some people, they want to suicide. Just within one life. So imagine you had to accumulate all these experiences, because life is not easy. Life is really not difficult. Everyone's suffering. So this idea of reincarnation, it's an evolution. We forget and we start again. And in this idea of starting again, then we can accept a form of faith that will liberate ourselves and allow us to understand our reality. If there wasn't this possibility, we would just be locked inside conceptions where we cannot get away from our attachments. Oh no, I have my children, I cannot, but they will become without me, and then this, and then it's finished. And when we reincarnate, where is this link? Do we remember the links from our past lives? So this evolution is allowing us also to acquire qualities that we maybe don't have in this life right now, because we have limits. And this limit can be pushed by the fact of taking a new birth in a special place, by having good association. We say who you are, who's around you, and I will tell you who you are. When I was young, I associated myself with bad persons, and I became a very bad person. But because it was not my destiny to stay like a bad person, at some point I had the association of saintly person, and of course, naturally, we take the qualities of the person around us, and then we change. It's a very powerful association, extremely powerful. That's why, to come in a place like a temple, for example, we need to come with open mind. It's a travel. We don't come here if we don't want to travel. Otherwise, we'll say, "Oh, they are strange people. He has a mark on the head." So we'll just be surrounded by fear. But this is not the idea. If you go to India, you will see the same kind of place, the same kind of temple, people dressing like this, but they have an Indian face. And you will say, "Oh, but this is normal." For example, Christians, at the beginning, when they were in Jerusalem, they were not in France. If we would see them coming like they were dressing with their special hair, special nose, special faces, we will not understand. But with time, faith was accepted and manifested with the art of the country, with the mentality of the country. So in the same way, all faith, they have to travel. Because it's normal. Everyone has a different need. So when we come in a place, we need, just like a travel. Instead of taking a plane ticket, you take your car and you come here to travel. And it's very important. You come here to discover something, to receive, to have an exchange. And in the same way, the people who are living here, they need to understand, oh, these people, they are travelers coming here. So we need to give freedom. Someone should be able to come with his own ideas and live with his own ideas. If you stop someone and you say to him, "Oh, you think wrongly," then it's like an aggression. This is violence. Because you don't respect this person. You don't respect his character, who he is. You think you are superior, but in truth, you're not. You're only habited by a destructive ego. So this is the wrong side of religion. The one who has this mindset, he is not linked. He receives something which is making him in prison and which is not allowing him to see the beauty in others. How people who are speaking about love can make war and create like torture instrument, for example, in such an evil way. If we're linked with love, we should be ready to accept that there's a possibility to think in a different way. And if this possibility is here, we should understand that it's coming from the same source. And if it's coming from the same source, we should have this good respect. There would be no problem anymore. But how is this possible? By understanding that we are the soul. Because the bodily conception, I'm a Hindu, I'm a Christian, I'm a Muslim, we cannot love people like this. It's not possible. Because there's a bodily conception. Bodily conception brings duality. Friend, enemy. You don't think like me, you cannot be my brother. I learned this by becoming a fanatic at the beginning, because we're all coming through this stage first. What is fanaticism? It's a small faith. When you cannot be linked, you cannot understand the others. And the only way to maintain your faith is to see wrongdoings in others, to see faults. Because if you see qualities, you'll become attracted. So this is a problem. Yes, it's a problem. Because your small faith is saying, oh, alert, alert, babe. You cannot see qualities in others. It's not possible. So it's like you're being attracted and you're obliged to push this through violence. Oh, look at this miscreant. And it can go very far. It can go up until this point, this kind of small faith. This is what we call small faith. We will keep our faith through violence. Because we don't have love. There's no love. It's not something spontaneous. It's something that was forced on us, pushed on us. But it's not natural. So when it's not natural, the only way to keep it, it's in a not natural way also. It cannot be spontaneous, cannot be love. But when practice is authentic, for example, we're singing the names of God, and the name is not different from the person. When we chant with sincerity, and this link is created through meditation, then naturally, when love comes, then intelligence comes, spiritual intelligence comes, and this awakening of respect comes. Love means respect. If there's no love, there cannot be respect. Someone who's speaking about love, but speaking about miscreant also, it's not possible. It's incompatibility. Love means we're sensitive, we understand suffering, we understand the needs, but we don't impose something. We don't feel ourselves superior with the cape, super spiritualist. I'm here to save the whole planet. It cannot work. Through humility, we have a true connection with living beings. When you become the servant of the Lord, you become the servant of all living beings. And at this moment, you give them the possibility to express themselves and to evolve, instead of crushing them. Don't speak, miscreant. You're wrong. So servant means to be here for the other's needs, for a person to evolve. And it's rare. Unless you are on the level of the soul, it's not possible. Because automatically you will want to convert someone. It cannot be otherwise. There are some people who have this capacity. I will not say capacity, ability, but they have this invention of prophets. And when you see them, then they're just quarreling, in fact. They cannot be together. Because when you think you are elevated, it's very difficult to meet someone else who's elevated also. Extremely difficult. But when you are small, and when you meet someone who feels very small also, then it's like a fusion. It's very beautiful, in fact. Speak. Oh no, please, you speak. You have so many qualities. Oh no, but you have so many qualities. So there's no limit in this link. But when the ego is elevated and we think we're advanced, we cannot have this possibility of love. It's not possible. But it's very high to become small. A French saint, she was saying, she was feeling herself. She was feeling, I feel like I'm crushed like a small grain. When we become very small, we feel so small. And we feel the help. We feel protection. We feel intelligence. And we don't become proud when we speak. Proud. When we do something, we don't think it's ourselves. We understand the power is given to us. Someone says, oh, you did so many things. Inside of us, you will think, but what did I do? Nothing. What can I do? So this is the trap. If you think you accomplished something, you're like a thief. Because the Lord is at the origin of the body, He's the origin of the soul, He's the origin of the intelligence, the power, the elements. You can use something by understanding to whom it belongs, but if you take it for yourself, then you're a thief. This is the law of karma, and you have to pay for this. That's why we need to understand who we are. Who's the Supreme Soul, Krishna? And what is this link? And from there, everything what we do is good. We can use everything and deliver ourselves. It's something which is very simple. Spiritual life is very simple. And it's very logical also. If we accept that the Lord exists, that everything emanates from Him, it means everything that exists He owns everything that exists. Everything belongs to Him. It's like a father. A son can live in the house of the father and enjoy everything, but it belongs to his father. So in the same way, we should have some kind of knowledge. And this is what we call religion. Religion gives knowledge to link us, so we can understand how to act, to understand how to use the propriety of the Lord. In the past ages, there's 4 ages with different length of lives. In the Satya Yuga, the living beings were living 100,000 years. So it's something we cannot conceive. They had powers in the Vedas. The Vedas describe these ages as beings that who could meditate in a way that we cannot understand, even underwater. Everyone had powers and a great purity. And in these different ages, there's different degrees of faith and of consciousness. In the age in which we are, people live 100 years old, maximum, can be a little bit more. But all living beings are perturbed. They cannot meditate. They have health problems. There's so many difficulties. That's why when the Lord comes, when He comes, He's giving also a way to connect ourselves to Him, because He has the power. He has all power. Us, we have the power to go to Brazil if we want. The Creator, He can do whatever He wants. If we have a small power, He has a great power. And also, because there's love, He must to give us a way so we can remember. Because He is giving freedom. We have a total freedom. We can destroy ourselves, like construct ourselves. We can forget and we can remember. We have a total freedom. For example, this society, all these elements that the Lord is giving us, we can use them to remember ourselves or to forget Him. So when we create a society of forgetfulness, we're in total ignorance of our truth, of the soul. And when we use the same elements to serve Him, then we can understand the nature of the soul. But there will always be this freedom. Freedom is the best, is the most precious gift we have. It's the most precious. Because in the world of love, because it's explained in the Vedas, beyond these millions of universe, it's explained there's millions of universe, ours is one of the smallest. Above all of this, there are the spiritual planets, which is eternal. There's no beginning, no end. There's no this conception of time, of suffering. We don't have a gross body. We have a spiritual body, which is eternal. It's the body of the soul. And when a soul takes a form, it's his eternal form. So it's inconceivable. And all beauty is manifested, all quality is manifested, all sense are manifested, all feelings, but in an unlimited way and eternal way. This is what we're all looking for. And in the midst of all of this, there's this supreme person who's ensnaring everyone. And it's explained people, they have so much love that just for a fraction of a second, it's impossible to be separated from him. So when we can understand how to link ourselves, we can acquire the way to meditate. Meditate doesn't mean that we want to become empty. Emptiness is not bringing much. It's not staying for much time also. Meditation means to meditate on our reality, on our eternal reality. And for this, we need some kind of knowledge. There's no other way. And this knowledge cannot come from the human being, from the living being. It cannot come from the devas, the demigods, nor the sages. It can come only from the Supreme Lord. So he has the way, he has the means to reveal himself. He has the means to describe his world. And when we meditate on this eternal reality, then we get away from this material conception. With this duality of friend, enemies, I'm a man, I'm a woman, I'm a Hindu, I'm a Muslim, I'm an American, I'm an Iranian, I'm Russian, I'm Ukrainian. We go away from all these designations, which are bodily. And when we understand who we are, then we're going away from this frustration that this limited conception of life is giving us, because this is limited. We're falling in love with someone, and the more we love, the more we will suffer after, when there will be separation. How many roles did we play? I remember when I was a kid, I was going from one look, hard rocker, punk. I had so many looks. Because you have to be someone, you have to attract someone, you have to try to do something, to do rock. So many things. Then drug and this. We're always evolving, always something new. But why? Why we're always changing? Because we're not satisfied. It's like a child. If you observe a child, it's quicker than an adult. A child, he's playing something, then he's taking a new toy, then a new one. So we're doing this also. But it's taking longer for us adults. Why there are so many divorces? Why there are so many cheating? Because living beings are limited. So at some point, we want something more. We want something new, a new experience. Because no one is fully fulfilling us. And it's a reality. So this meditation, in fact, it's allowing us to meet someone who's unlimited. And at this moment, all our problems are taken care of. Once this meditation comes in our heart, we're satisfied. We don't need money. We don't need honor. Everything is coming from internal life. No one can destroy us. Someone is saying, someone is blaming you, justice will attack you. Even in prison, you can be fully satisfied in all situations, because everything will come from the inside. When you're searching outside, there's always a limit, a beginning and an end. But when internal life manifests, when meditation manifests, then all problems are solved. That's why this truth must come. If the father has love, it's a way of saying, he needs to be able to liberate his children, but the child, he must want it, and according to his consciousness and desires, there has to be different ways. There has to be a choice. That's why there's a diversity. So the true spiritualist, he's respectful. This is how you recognize a true spiritualist. With his own evolution, he has respect of living beings, but of all living beings. Not only the ones who are spiritual or in a religion, but for all. Because by his own understanding of the soul, he understands in front of me there's a soul, and this soul is searching. Everyone's searching his own path. If you don't have this respect, you cannot have a link with the Supreme Lord, because it's him who's behind everything. It's him who's giving remembrance and forgetfulness. If you want to forget him, he's allowing you to forget completely. You can even mock him, or those who are believing in God, they're stupid. And still the Lord is next to you, the Supreme Soul. He's always there, like the best friend. He's authorizing everything, because he's a loving Father. For example, when I was a bad guy, I was explaining this yesterday night. I saw my mother, that she was able to tolerate so much. I was such a such a bad person. And if a mother can tolerate, so what to say about the Supreme Father? You can insult him, you can fight him, but he's never angry. He's always accompanying you. He's giving you everything. So this meditation is giving an extraordinary revelation. When he manifests himself in your heart, he can show you everything that you did, and he was a witness of everything. You see all your life in front of you. This is the first part, going to purity. You are forget. You are. He said, I forgive you for everything. In all the moments he was there, he's showing you how he was there and protecting you. I remember one night, I was young, I was part of a gang, I was 15 at the beginning. So maybe I was 16 at this point. It was not a good night for me, I was not feeling good. Because I wanted to be with a young girl, but she didn't want from me. So I was not happy. And people with whom I was, they went to a place. And on this night, just like by chance, I was always on the front row, but I didn't go. And one person who went there to this place, he took a bullet in the head, and the other one a bullet to his back, spine. And at 11 in the night, they called me and they explained me what happened. So it was difficult. But after, when I meditated and when I realized in which way the Lord, He accompanied me even in those moments, it's inconceivable. It's amazing. When you are His devotee, He knows already. He knows it already. He's never leaving you. And you understand that you couldn't die at this moment. Because at one point you had to start again your spiritual life to achieve the end. to attain perfection. I didn't go to school much, sorry for my words. When I was young, my teacher, they didn't want me to be in the classroom. They would say, okay, you can go away. They were not saying anything to the superior. They were just saying, "Okay, don't come," because they were scared to say my name to the other ones. So life is making us, giving us this possibility to reflect, to think. Sometimes we are violent because we're not feeling good inside of ourselves. But violence is not giving anything. Violence has to go out of ourselves. It's very important. We should become nice persons, beautiful person, in whatever way we're achieving this, but we need to take care of others. It's very important. When we are too much centered on ourselves, egoism, it's bringing a lot of suffering to others. It's important. We should forget also. So in the same way that we did wrong to others, and they forgave us, then also us, we need to forgive. Small music at the same time. That's why there's a small sign, please turn off your phone before entering. Just imagine, if 100 persons are here, at one point one phone is ringing, then the other one, then the other one. It will be very difficult to meditate. Thank you very much.